drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus. Living in a crisis. Do you feel courageous? Do you seek greatness? Trust me, you can take it. Go on and take your aim. Yeah.
Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I can change the past with the
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, or good evening. It's 6 o'clock on it, on the East Coast. What is going on, everybody? What is up? What is up? And we are live for another Nothing But Raider podcast, episode 5. And I have some special guests with me, man. Finally was able to get my guy this way. Had to finally get you over here, man. All aboard, Raiders. What's going on, brother? Thank you for coming on, man.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I've sort of come to realize that I'm like the Bigfoot of Spotlight Raider Talk because I show up once a year. I show my face, and they're like, "Hey, is that?" And then I'm gone for a year. So,
we got to stop that, man. We got to make sure you on a consistent basis,
yeah.
Man. And, without further ado, man, of course, of the Just Win Baby podcast, the host of the mostest, Raider Ben. What is going on, brother? Happy to have you back on the show. What is going on?
Hey, brother, it's a pleasure to be here to talk Raiders, man, with some of my brothers, man. I appreciate you for having me, as always, man. I'm always down to jump on anybody's show and talk Raiders, man. That's what we do out here, man. We provide content. We're gonna rock with it. So let's get it.
Absolutely. Just to let y'all know, I know y'all see this Clifford Branch signature thing I got on the wall here. I got it from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Since the thing about it is they was only selling it to content creators only at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And whoever was a content creator got 20% off of this Clifford Branch. They had it for all the Hall of Famers that got enshrined that weekend. So that was pretty dope to get and have that. Now I got some more memorabilia I got to put up because I'm trying to get into the new apartment and everything. But it's fun. It was fun for me to come out to the Hall of Fame game and actually go and see the team up in person. That's why I didn't really do film or anything of that age because I saw it firsthand. And I got a lot of clips on my phone that I could look at myself. That's why I didn't really do too much. But from your aspect of it, from your watching the Hall of Fame game, what was your thoughts? What was your pros? What was your cons? What did y'all like? What y'all didn't like? And how the Raiders performed knowing that we won 27-11 at the Hall of Fame game. So any one of y'all could go first. It doesn't really matter to me.
Go ahead, Ben. You got it.
So, I thought, we saw a lot of good in that Hall of Fame game. I think my number one takeaway from this preseason game is from watching this team, even in the preseason over the last 20 years that I have been watching this team, even in preseason, we've come out and we've looked lost. We've looked unprepared, undisciplined, lost. And it's always seemed to start in the preseason, regardless if we've had, a decent year or not. I thought in this preseason game, I thought the Raiders came out and the coaching staff, the new addition to this coaching staff, highly stood out by the way the players were taking the game. I know it was a preseason game, but you could tell they were going there. It was a business trip, bro. They went in there and they handled themselves like professionals. And it was a pleasure to see, man, because like I said, even in preseason, bro, we've come out, we've looked, discombobulated. And, like I said, even though it's a preseason game, I thought the Raiders, man, this coaching staff, I think they have a grasp of this team. I think this team respects this coaching staff and knows what the game plan is, and they're rocking with it, man. So that was probably my biggest takeaway from the game.
Yeah, I think the cliche I've been throwing around is well-oiled machine. Minimal penalties. I think there was even a point where there was a shot of Josh McDaniels and he was upset that the subs weren't getting in fast enough. And that's with however many people we have on the roster trying to get in and prove themselves. It looked like everyone knew their position, their job, executed the offense. And there was a part of the chaoticness to the Gruden era that was entertaining, but it was a small part. I'd rather be, the Josh McDaniels button-up organization, like Ben said, a business trip. So not much to take away play-wise other than Jacobs running through massive holes. but they looked like they knew what was going on for the first time in a long time.
I'm gonna say, as far as me being in person, you could tell that they were, even though that it was a preseason game, they were laser focused. You could see the actual culture changing and seeing that they are buying into what Josh McDaniel wants on the offensive side, what Patrick Graham wants on the defensive side of the ball. And you can see that from certain players that we didn't expect, like the way Amir Abdullah was running the ball, the way Zamir White performed, the way Josh Jacobs performed. Even though Tyron Johnson, dropped a few balls, but you can see the route running that he was running hard. You see that sometimes the offensive line was a little bit shaky, but you could see them knowing that we had issues opening up running holes last year. You see that progress this year. They open up the running holes. I could say from what I seen in person, about 3 or 4 yards of carry, which I'm not too bad about. I'd rather take 3 to 4 yards of carry than 1 or 2 yards of carry, in my opinion. Defensively, I saw Malcolm Kuntz was, even though he didn't get a sack, but the way he was pressuring and running stunts with that defensive line, I thought that was impressive. To see Devontae Abloh try to control the defense from where he was at the linebacker position, and to see Darius Phillips from the Cincinnati Bengals come over in the way that he played with him and Tyree Gillespie, they played really well as far as player wise. But like I said in my show yesterday, I think the most impressive to me was Austin Walter and Amir Abdullah on the offensive side of the ball. I think they ran the ball pretty well. And I think that's going to be something to look at the running back position now, knowing that we only got 3 preseason games and we will have to narrow it down. One of them going to have to go, but I thought they was pretty impressive as well.
Yeah, and to kind of piggyback off what you were saying, right? I've been, I wouldn't say by all Raider fans, but there's a handful of Raider fans that didn't really like my take on the game in terms of Zamir White. Don't get it wrong, dude. I think Zamir White's going to be a hell of a player for us. I thought that game he had, a somewhat decent average that was kind of padded by, kind of a longer run later in the game. In my opinion, Zamir White struggled to find the hole, bro. I seen where he was running into the back of his lineman's knees too much. And it's nothing. And see, the thing is, this is why, sometimes it sucks being critical of this team, because some people just, they don't like to hear it, bro. Zamir White was running into the back of his lineman's knees a lot. I don't want to see that come regular season, because that's how you get your lineman folded up on and cause knee injuries, and we lose our lineman for the year. I don't want to see that. I thought Zamir White played okay. What I did not like is I did not like the fact that he ran into it. It was like every single run, he was depending on pushing his lineman in the back, bro, and trying to create yardage. If you've seen, Jacobs early in the game, Abdullah, the one run Zamir White had, and Walter for the main part, these guys were able to find running lanes, bro. And our offensive line isn't always going to, open up these, ginormous holes. We have to have running backs. That's why I think Josh Jacobs is so good, because I think Josh Jacobs' vision is insane, dude. He sees the smallest of holes and he squirts through them. And that's really my biggest take on the running game is I thought, Andrew Walter stole the show. I think Amir Abdullah has the leg up on Drake, because right now he's scheduled as the kick returner. Yeah. But I love Zamir White. I think Zamir White's going to be good. So Raider Nation, don't take it as, I'm bashing the team. I just think, Zamir White did run into the back of his lineman a little bit too much.
And to actually speak to that point even further, there's a specific play early when he got in the game. It was a pitch to the left. And I was like,
that was in the first quarter.
Yeah. And I was like, Zamir White's gone. And then he just kind of got hit and fell over. And that's sort of to your point where he needs to sort of get that patience that Josh Jacobs has. But again, it's his first ever live action against quote unquote professionals, a lot of backups in the game. Right. Speaking to the running game a little bit, the thing I loved is the pitch plays. Every time they shuffle the ball out to a running back, it looked like there was big play potential. And I didn't see that with our offensive running game in the past. It seems like Josh McDaniels' scheme, I don't know if he took it from his time in New England. He probably did. The way he has his blockers block in the pass game, but more so in those pitch plays in the run game, it seems like he's found a way to maximize the potential of those pitches every single time.
Yeah, and I could agree with both of y'all, because you're gonna have your pros, you're gonna have your cons with Zamir White, being a rookie, still trying to get his feet wet as an NFL professional. coming off of a national championship in Georgia, being that running back by committee. So I think he's going to be fine. And it could probably be first game jitters or anything of that nature. It could be that. But you have to be critical of your team as well. You got to see the pros and the cons. Yes, everybody did good, but speaking of going into the next topic, Brandon Parker didn't look well. You know what I'm saying? Dylan Parham looked phenomenal, but Parker looked good. So going into the Brandon Parker situation, it was told that he was on IR and he's done for the year. But there's been more rumors coming out saying that he's not. So from your perspective, is he really on the IR? Because that's what I'm considering. I think he really is on the IR, and I don't know if he was playing hurt or not, but he didn't look well, knowing that he was one of our starters last year, and he looked like he didn't improve from the year before. And then now all of a sudden he gets on IR. So what are your thoughts on that?
Go ahead, bro. You take it away.
Well, my thoughts on that are, if all things go well, hopefully it doesn't even matter because he shouldn't be starting this year anyway. As far as is he on IR, is he not? I think Josh McDaniels likes to keep a lots of things close to the vest. I was watching, I don't know if you guys saw the video today. It's like Hunter Renfrow getting interviewed by Kurt Warner and all them. And Devontae Adams comes up and he's like, oh, this is my boy Hunter. And Kurt's like, what? Talk about Hunter. What do you like about him? And he's like, oh, we're not allowed to speak to the potential of our players. Coach McDaniels doesn't want us to talk about each other. So I think that's a case of they maybe aren't sure if Parker's out for the year or not, or they know, and McDaniels wants to keep that in. Do I think he's out for the year? I don't know. I don't even really particularly remember seeing him get hurt. But hopefully, like I said, it doesn't really matter.
So from what I'm hearing, so check this out, guys. And another thing that I'm going to say, and I don't want nobody to take this shit the wrong way. You feel me? This is why I don't jump the gun and make videos. The main reason why I don't jump the gun and make videos, and no disrespect to anybody that did. You feel me? You guys probably have sources that I don't have. My only sources are Vinny Bonsignor, the Las Vegas Review-Journal, Ian Rappaport, and the Las Vegas Raiders. So unless I hear anything come out of these guys' mouth, I don't just jump the gun and make content about it. You know what I mean? One thing I will say is Brandon Parker right now, guys, regardless if he's hurt or not, he's not listed as a starter on our depth chart. Right. So like old buddy said, I mean, what's your name, bro? My bad. You don't have names on your shit. My
That's
bad.
okay. Rodney,
I forgot to put the names on it.
No, you're good. I missed his name. My bad, dude.
Oh, you're good.
I'm
Rodney.
bad with names.
Nice
Rodney. Okay. There we go. Perfect. All right, cool. So, I thought, that the Raiders, I think, what were we talking about? I lost my train of thought.
Brandon Parker.
Talking about Brandon Parker. Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon Parker's not slated as the starting guard tackle for us anyways. Right now, our starting tackles are Colton and Alex Leatherwood. So, regardless, from what I'm hearing is some people are saying he's got a torn tricep, torn bicep. Nothing is official in terms of him going to IR. Vinny Bonsignor did reply to somebody on Twitter and said that Brandon Parker is injured. He didn't list the extent of the injury. I think what a lot of this comes down to, man, is a lot of Raider Nation hates Brandon Parker. A lot of us don't like him. A lot of us have seen what he's had to do. One thing I will tell you about Brandon Parker, he's not the best player, but he's not the worst player. Brandon Parker at left tackle, bro. You guys act like he was going up against some regular Joe Schmo. He was going up against a number 1 overall pick in the draft. That dude was a number 1 overall pick for a fucking reason, bro. Yeah. That dude was a good player, bro. You know what I mean? He struggled, but I also seen him go out there and compete. I seen Leatherwood need help a lot in that game, and nobody wants to talk about that, but they want to bash Brandon Parker for, kind of giving up some plays against a number 1 overall pick.
I'm not a big fan of Alex Leatherwood. Rodney knows that.
Yeah,
I know that.
I'm not a big fan
if you go back and look at the sack, bro, it was really more of a coverage sack and Stidham kind of walking into the sack because Brandon Parker had his guy blocked, bro. Stidham had nowhere to go. He stepped up and kind of, I think it was either Stidham or Mullen. He walked right into it.
Right.
So,
right.
I think it just has a lot to do with more just a lot of, Raider Nation don't like Brandon Parker. And, I seen Wasted do a live stream earlier about Daryl Williams. I thought Daryl Williams had already signed with a team. Am I
thought he
wrong?
signed with Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't think he's a free agent.
Because I think he was a free agent for a long time, but
For a long time. He just recently got signed.
A lot of people in the calling show saying that he was already signed, but I didn't do my research on it.
Yeah, I had heard he just recently signed.
But if he wasn't signed, I still have my concerns because even though a lot of people talk highly about Daryl Williams and what he done in Buffalo, but what is the reasoning of him being a free agent for so long? It is something there that tells me, like, okay, something's wrong with Daryl Williams. Why is no all 30, 31, 32 teams are looking at a Daryl Williams. And Dominique Favre says that Daryl Williams is still a free agent. I'm not too sure.
Daryl Williams.
I'm not too sure about that, but I feel like, me personally, we drafted 2 offensive linemen for a reason. Dylan Parham, Thayer Munford. We still got a Luminor. Jordan Meredith played. We still have some offensive linemen that we could work in, to replace Brandon Parker. Unfortunately, we don't know what the truth is, if he's on IR or not. I don't think the Raiders actually put out anything officially on their Twitter, because that's what I usually look at when it comes to, did somebody being placed on IR or somebody getting released or something of that nature. But yeah, I think we should go with what we got right now as far as what we can see. And then if none of those work out, then let's see what's on the free agent market. I just don't want to jump to the free agent market like, let's go get Daryl Williams and he's going to come in and just be this. No, that's not that. I don't see that. I think we drafted 2 offensive linemen for a reason. We there to develop and get younger, not get older.
Yeah, most of the sacks in that preseason game were on the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of holding on to the ball for a lot too long. And I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat that said it was a different Daryl Williams. See, that's so confusing because I thought it was the tackle. But like Spotlight said, to piggyback off of him, bro, me and my boys, the podcast, were preaching Eddie Goldman for a couple of months. And as soon as he got signed, he retired for whatever reason. You know what I mean? We're all like, dude, Eddie Goldman's a hell of a player, bro. Why is he a free agent?
Healthy. That's the problem with Eddie Goldman.
Yeah, and see, same thing with Daryl Williams. He struggles with injury since he's been in the league, bro. You know what I mean? Like, what is the backstory with Daryl Williams in terms of why is he not being signed? Because he's a hell of a player. Yeah. I just like I said, man, I think right now Alex Leatherwood is our starting right tackle. The depth chart says it. I think that's going to be, unless he gets beat out somehow, I don't think anybody takes over his spot. From right now, what I'm hearing is Lester Cotton is playing lights out at guard. So yeah, I think right tackle is going to be Leatherwood unless they get, that Daryl Williams guy, which I don't know. I don't see it because we haven't gotten him yet. So
right. And I don't think we're because we have all this stuff coming out about Daryl Williams, but on a defensive side, we end up working out Danny Shelton, but he ended up signing with the Kansas City Chiefs, which I heard that from Adam Scheffner. So unfortunately, he's not going to be a Raider. We did work him out. And that was one of the concerns coming into training camp was the defensive tackle position, knowing Billings was on PULP list, Hankins was on PULP list. Then you still have these 2 defensive tackles, these young ones, and Neil Farrell and Matthew Butler, which he went to my school, Tennessee, so I am biased about that. Sorry to say. Well, I watched him play for 3 years at Tennessee, and he was really good there. And I know that I was kind of surprised that he dropped that far down. But turning to the defensive side of the ball, what are your concerns as far as the D tackle position? Because I think our pass rush, I think we're solidified there, even though that we do have a Malcolm Kuntz backing up probably Chandler Jones or Crosby. And I don't know what's going to happen with Clean and Farrell. I don't know about that either. But as far as the defensive tackle position, what do you think that what we need to do there? Do we need to go out and get some free agents, or do we just build with what we got on our depth chart so far?
I think it's definitely, if you looked at the defense, it's the one spot where you are a little concerned about the depth that we have there. Again, like you said, a lot of people banged up. I think this is probably where Patrick Graham has to get creative in how he puts certain personnel out on the field, because all of a sudden we are versatile at cornerback, which is a thing that I was not able to say for the longest time. So again, maybe you could bring in a Jonathan Abram to sort of lurk, help the linebackers out, bring people up because you trust Nate Hobbs and Trayvon Mullen and who's the other corner that's going to be starting? Apparently,
Rock Yassin.
Thank you.
Sin
Couldn't think of
or
his name.
Averett, yeah.
Yeah, Rock Yassin. So you could, if you trust your corners well enough and your pass rush to get there, you can get creative enough to work around the problem of having a not so great interior. But other than that, I don't know if there's anyone else out there who's going to make a massive impact. I remember Sue was a thing that was happening a long time ago. The Raiders clearly don't want Sue, because Sue has been like, "Hey, I'm on TV and I want to play for the Raiders," and McDaniels was like, well, no, thank you.
And everybody run to make a video about Sue coming to the Raiders, and it never happens.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know if there's anyone out there who's going to make an impact. So you might just have to get creative and hope that everybody else stays healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, shit, bro. I mean, coming into this year, defensive tackle was my biggest question mark coming into this year. It wasn't I know everybody was stressing about the offensive line. And, I've been preaching forever this, and that'll kind of lead me back to another thing about that preseason game. This offense, the entire time Tom Brady was there, this is three-step all the way down the field. You know what I mean? You don't need the best offensive line, especially a right tackle who is pretty much a run blocker. Usually your best right tackle is a hell of a run blocker. He's never really the best pass blocker. You know what I mean? So that screen game that we ran Thursday, I was calling it all offseason, dude. We are going to kill people with our screens. And the ability of Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow and Waller to get open real fast, dude. They're really good at getting open off the line of scrimmage, bro. We don't have to sit here and block for 5 seconds every single play, bro. You know what I mean? So I think right now the offensive line, regardless of what happens, man, I think as long as we find a way to run the football, I think we're going to be all right, bro. Because I think right now, I think we're going to be able to get the ball out quick regardless. So just depends on our ability to stop the run. I mean, to run the ball. So.
Yeah, and I can say I was so happy to see the screenplays as well in the preseason game and see these running backs get in space and make plays. So it's good to see that, knowing that Josh McDaniels was very highly big of that. And when he was in New England with his running backs running that screenplay, getting them out in open space and making a play and getting as many yards as they can. So I thought that it was pretty creative to see mad screen plays, especially from the halfback position, which I asked for last year and the year before that. But you know what type of coach we had at that time that would never throw a halfback screen in his life. So that's another story for another time. Now, people want to talk about Roquan Smith. You know, the Raiders, they you know how it is, man. Somebody request a trade and they thought they're going to the Raiders is going to get him. Just like the whole thing with Kareem Hunt. You see the news come out about Kareem Hunt. Oh, the Raiders are interested in trading for Kareem Hunt.
We have 1,000 running backs.
Right. And we got a whole Bible of running backs on our depth chart, and knowing darn well we don't need a Kareem Hunt at this point. So Roquan Smith, he did request for a trade out of Chicago. He wanted to get a brand new contract for the Chicago Bears, and he ended up not getting it. If you look at his stats, he led the league in tackles right next to Denzel Perriman. So it's right up there when it comes to leading the league in tackles, and he's only 25 years old. My question is, do we make this trade for Roquan Smith? Because I'm not even talking about Kareem Hunt, because that's just pure BS there. But do you feel like we need to go after Roquan Smith in this situation, knowing that he did ask for a trade?
No.
I like.
Ask you to explain yourself, right? You know that, right?
We don't have. We're not gonna have the money. We still have to worry about Darren Waller. Linebacker's not a concern for me. It's just one of those things where a good player, it literally could be like Justin Tucker's not happy. Like, oh, we could use 2 kickers. We got one, but we could use it. It's like, what are we doing? No, we don't need Roquan Smith.
So I've kind of talked a little bit about this on my little community tab earlier with some of my fans and some of my supporters and shit. And we talked a little bit about this, and really what the determining main factor is the bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have that, like we have money. They're gonna up the salary cap a little bit next year. The Raiders still have a good amount of money this year they could use towards that, but that 30-something million from Derek Carr, that 30-something million for Devontae Adams, that Hunter Renfrow, all those kick in next season. You know what I mean? So, we can't, depending on what he's asking, I think that's really the big question mark. And my issue with the linebackers now is, dude, I love Denzel Perryman. I wanted Denzel Perryman when he came out of the draft. I wanted him. Is the biggest knock on him, he was undersized. He's like 5'10". Biggest knock on him, bro. But coming out of college, he was probably the heaviest hitter coming out of Miami that year out of the entire draft. And had pretty good ball skills, bro. His issue is his health. Last year he played the most games he's ever played. Usually he don't play that many games, and he still missed a game last year. As much as I want to pay Denzel Perryman, I still have a concern over his health. I do think the Raiders are going to find a way to keep him. I think, middle linebacker and defensive tackle are really detrimental to your defense. Those are like the captains, like the anchors, right? And if you have a good middle linebacker, you're going to have a pretty damn good defense. Because your linebacker gets everybody in line. So, Denzel Perryman is probably the best middle linebacker we've had probably since Kirk Morrison. And we'll see how it goes. I like Perryman. His injuries just concern me. I just don't want to give him a bunch of money, bro, and him come out and, miss 8 games.
Right.
So you know what? You know why he was staying healthy this whole season?
Trying to get a contract, probably.
No, he was staying hydrated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Facts, bro.
That's a good one, man.
That boy be out there in 110-degree weather with a beanie on.
With a beanie on.
I'm looking at that and I'm like, yo, it's Las Vegas. It's already dry heat in itself. So it's like he had on a whole beanie. I'm like, yeah,
it's like he's Oakland and shit on some Marshawn Lynch type shit. Like, we from the Bay Area. We out here rocking beanies every day. I can understand
we will definitely get into the Marshawn Lynch situation about that happening. But me personally, when it comes to Roquan Smith, I think we should trade for him, but we got to see where like piggyback off your said, we got to see where our college salary cap is first. You see what the Rams has done, trade after trade after trade. They really didn't have no salary cap, but they figured it out some way, somehow. And I think the Raiders might do that because, mind you, he's only 25 years old. He's really young. He does have some injuries here and there, but if you look at his productivity on the field, I think he can make an impact. But do I say go do it right now like the fans are asking for? No. I need to see what Roquan Smith is asking for as far as a contract go. And is he willing to take less to win? And that's been a problem with a lot of players. They will not take less to detriment, not detriment, but help the team in their salary cap to go get other players. So will Roquan Smith do that? Probably not. But I mean, if the Raiders can do something, hey, I'll be fine with it.
What's the trade then? What's the pick? Fourth, third?
I'll give up a third and a fourth for Roquan Smith.
Yeah, I know. See, a lot of Raider fans think they're gonna want a 1. I don't think you're getting a 1.
We don't have one. We're not giving up a first round pick for Roquan Smith.
Do we have a first?
No, we have one this year. We already used our 1 for Devontae Adams, but next year, this upcoming year, yeah, we have a 1. We have all of our picks.
I keep forgetting how much we robbed Green Bay. Anyway, next.
Yeah, that's one thing that I like. We definitely got him. We got that taken care of in 1 draft.
Yeah, so I'm completely fine with Roquan Smith. Trying to become a Raider, but hey, you just never know with this league. Some things always happen in that way. But
yeah, if I woke up tomorrow and I saw Roquan Smith as a Raider, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be jumping for joy. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
You know what? I'll be like, listen, Raiders, y'all finding ways to get players here because y'all found a way to get Devontae Adams here. Y'all gave up 2 first-round picks and no players, so it's possible that Roquan Smith could come here and not still give up no players.
We have to figure out who Roquan Smith's best friend was in college, and we have to get him, and then we'll get Roquan Smith.
So he said that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 fifth rounds, 1 6, and 2 7s
Jesus.
next year for the Las Vegas Raiders. God damn.
Yeah, we
that
have
is
we have a
lot.
shit ton of picks next year. Yeah, we definitely took. That's why I thought it was so cool that we took care of that deal in one draft, and we only gave up one first round pick. We took care of that. It's like, okay, well, this might be a star-studded draft class in terms of wide receivers, but Devontae Adams is the clear cut for a first and a second round pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially you talk about teaming him up with Derek. Like, that's different than, if he was Josh Allen or, one of these other really good quarterbacks, because Devontae Adams with the ball, but I think he's going to be special with Derek. I really think that connection is going to be special. I think Derek Carr is going to have his first 5,000 yard season. And it's going to, and I think, Devontae Adams, not only him going crazy, but the pressure it's going to take off, Renfro. He's probably going to have the best year of his career. I think Renfro's going to light some shit up, dude. They're not going to be able to put anybody worth a fuck on Renfro, in my opinion.
Is this the most anticipated season of your guys' lifetime? Because it's definitely mine. If I could push a button and wake up and it be whenever our first game is, I would do it right now. I'd say
yes. I'm very highly anticipating, especially on the offense side of the ball with all the weapons. If you look at the 9 years that Derek Carr has been here, even with the numbers that he has put up, it wasn't as many weapons that he had. This is the most weapons that he had in his career.
He's never had a number one.
Never had a number one. People say, oh, he had Amari Cooper.
No,
he had Michael Crabtree. They were not number ones, bro.
They were really good number twos. I'll tell you that much. Both of them.
Yes.
When Cooper and Crabtree were here, Crabtree was the number one.
Yeah,
he was a really good number two. Exactly. He was our number one, who was a damn good number two, bro.
Yeah, because he was number two on any other team besides ours.
Right,
bro. Michael Crabtree had the best years of his career on the Raiders. You know what I mean?
And Aguilar and Zay Jones. That's what Derek Carr does.
Yeah, most likely number twos or number threes that we had majority of his career. But let's get into it. They talking about it in the chat, y'all. The fight that broke out in training camp between Dylan Parham and Max Crosby. So, from what I've heard on Twitter, that it was a big scuffle, and people was like, "Oh, why is Dylan Parham attacking Max Crosby or whoever?" I like this from Dylan Parham, honestly. Yep. I like this, and he's like, I don't care if you're an all-pro. I don't care if I'm a rookie. When we out here on this field, we going to battle. If we want to fight it out, we're going to fight it out just like brothers do. So I like the fact that Dylan Parham has not backed down from a Max Crosby, because people would, just the way his specimen and the way he is. But Dylan Parham's like, I don't care if Chandler Jones on my side. I don't care if Max Crosby on my side. I don't care if Michael Kuntz on my side or Cleveland Farrell. I'm going to give it my 110%. And I think I like that just because I heard that he had no pressures in the Hall of Fame game. I'm not a big fan of Pro Football Focus, but he said that he had no pressure. They said they had no pressures in that Hall of Fame game. Even though it was against second, third, and fourth string, it's still professional football players at the end of the day. So what are your thoughts of, what happened at the fight? I don't know how it started, but I think I'm more impressed with Dylan Parham not backing down from an all-pro player in Max Crosby.
From what I was reading on Twitter, I don't have it right in front of me, but the issue had started. It wasn't with Parham. Something else happened, and Parham went over there and stuck up for his teammate and got into a little scuffle with Max Crosby. I don't know if yeah, see, there it goes. He said John Simpson. So John Simpson had got the jump on John Simpson. Parham went over there and put his nose in it, sticking up for his teammate. And that's what I love to see. You know what I mean? Dylan Parham, dude, I was preaching this dude, bro. I think he's going to be, he may end up beating out, John Simpson at some point. I don't think he's going to get the center spot unless Andre James struggles. I think Andre James got that right now. But I do like Dylan Parham's, his demeanor. The fact that he's going to stick up for his teammates. You spoke about how he was rated really good in that PFF game. Jackson Kruger Sports, he's a guy that breaks down film and shit, man, and he broke it down and showed where all the plays where Parham looked really, really good in that game. He also showed, a couple struggling pieces, and it was, I did see a couple times where Parham did struggle to get to the second level of the defense. He was getting off, but I don't know if he was slow or whatever, and he broke it down. But no, I love it, bro. I love the fact that Parham went in there and stuck his nose in for his team. Like, hey, bro, like, fuck off my boy. Like, you're tripping. Like, hell no. And I think those kind of relationships are very important for the bonding of an offensive line. Like, those are your boys, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, the rest of our team is tight, bro. But like, if anybody's played football, like offensive linemen, bro, they're different type of, chemistry in the trenches. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, it's as long as nobody got hurt and everyone's okay, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of a competitive edge. I don't know if this was during an indoor and outdoor session. If it was outdoor, I'm sure the heat had probably something to do with it. Makes people
Right.
irritated. It doesn't really matter though, because that's what you want to see. You want to see boys sticking up for each other. I'm sure after the practice they were fine. And I'm sure if wherever the video is, you see the coaches separating it, but in the back of their mind, they're like, this is what we need when we play every week. We need something like this. So yeah, I got no problem with it. I like it actually.
So Dark Raider says that Simpsons are always in the action, got a spat against the Steelers and punch after the game in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I definitely remember that. But hey, I like it, man. I like it, man. That this offensive line. This is why I say not right now and go get a vet, because you see this on your offensive line. You see the brotherhood, the camaraderie. If you see any position, you're going to be close knit with the people that you're in the position with. You see it from the safeties or D-backs all together. You see it from the linebackers. You see it from the quarterback. You see everybody has their own little clique of things. But when it comes to those trenches in the defensive line, in the offensive line, it hits different. It hits really different. Coming from a former player that played, a little bit of offensive line in my day. I wasn't the best at it, but I mean, I played it. I was a backup offensive lineman.
You were like that. You were like the Alex Leatherwood of your team, is what you're saying.
No, I was not.
Damn.
I was not. Absolutely not. No.
I hope. Well, who knows? Alex Leatherwood turns out to be a Hall of Famer. He's going to eat his words, bro. So it's all good.
I
Well,
think he's
if
gonna
you're
be
going to
better.
be a Hall of Famer, then I can say that. I will say that once that happens.
One thing I'll say about the camaraderie aspect, and to give a little bit of, I don't know, I can't think of the word. The team last year, and I know there's a lot of new people here, but I think the camaraderie started last year with all the stuff that they went through, and that brotherhood was the reason we kind of willed ourselves into the playoffs. The difference now between last year's team and this year's team is we have that brotherhood, but we have a lot of really good players now. So I'm excited to see that combination.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this offensive lineman. Now they call me Little Leatherwood. Wasn't I just Baby Trent Brown last year? If I'm not mistaken,
doing that. Keep that up, Little Leatherwood.
If I was just Baby Trent Brown last season, y'all made me make a whole T-shirt named Baby Trent Brown, and they damn near sold out of them.
Oh, excuse us. It says Little Lightwood, which is way better. Little Lightwood.
I mean, yeah, I can say Little Lightwood because I mean he is bigger than me, so I mean it will be a Little Lightwood. I'll definitely take that. That's another thing too about Tevin Jenkins. That was another rumor that came out, knowing that he was a big lineman coming out of the draft a couple of years back, and the Cleveland Browns was not Cleveland Browns, the Chicago Bears, another player that wants to be traded, or he was in trade talks. Now I know he's on the younger side, but of course they're going to include us in these trades. Oh, the Raiders should go out for Tevin Jenkins. My issue with Tevin Jenkins is he had injury problems coming out of the draft at Oklahoma State. He had real bad injury problems, especially with his knees. And I feel as though I don't think we should trade for Tevin Jenkins. I like him. I think he's a strong player when he is healthy. He can definitely move people, but I feel like his injury list is a bit too much for us to go out and go get a Tevin Jenkins. What was your thoughts on that rumor too? I would like to hear that.
Go ahead, Rodney. Go ahead, bro.
How old is Tevin Jenkins?
He was a
Um,
rookie last year, so I'm
yeah, he
assuming
was
he's
a
probably
rookie last year.
22,
So he
21.
about like 22,
Okay, yeah,
23-ish.
okay. I don't love young players requesting trades. One thing if it's Devontae Adams where he's like,
I don't think he requested. I think it was just a rumor saying that the Bears is looking
oh,
to move him.
oh, never mind that.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
he didn't request a trade. Nuh-uh.
okay.
They're
Oh,
just rumors that they're interested in moving him.
well then
Yeah.
he must have a bad problem staying healthy. Then would be my main concern with that. If you get him for a super late pick, we just saw the list. We have about 100,000 picks in next year's draft. So if you get him with one of those late sixes, I don't hate that, but it's not really something that's on my radar.
Yeah, I could say that. I mean, if it's a 7th round or 6th or 7th round pick, I'll take it.
Wasn't Tevin Jenkins like a high pick, like second
Yeah.
round?
He
round,
was, I
like
think, Tevin Jenkins was, I think, a second. He was like a,
I know he wasn't a first round, but I know he was one of the top.
he was between
linemen.
that 2nd and 3rd round, but
Yeah.
mainly 2nd. No, I could definitely find out.
It reminds me of like
I-
the Lynn Bowden of it all, where he didn't even play a snap for us, and then we traded.
Yeah.
Him. It's like weird.
Yeah.
And you know
See, the
what,
thing-
though? I keep saying this on my channel that I did a whole little draft profile on why the Raiders should draft Lynn Bowden, and we did.
That's crazy.
It didn't even play it down for us, but hey.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Tevin Jenkins. I just think it just kind of, the Raiders want to go get Raider fans want everybody, bro. Yeah, let's go get him. Let's go get him. There's a rotten there's an egg rotting in the street. You know what I'm saying? The Raiders should go pick him up. So, nah, man, I think Tevin Jenkins is a pretty good player, man, but injury history, bro. And let's stop abandoning right tackle until we see a damn game with right tackle. Like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Like, let Colton Miller struggle like a motherfucker his rookie year, bro. And we don't know what Leatherwood can do. I can tell you one thing. Leatherwood is an athletic player. He fits the bill to play tackle in the NFL. The only thing his issue was, bro, is he's too many damn penalties, struggling, holding offsides all the damn time. That's what hurt him. He get blown up every now and then, you know what I'm saying? But he was a rookie. You know what I mean?
He was good against the run. I just had issues with him trying to get that jump off on these pass rushers.
I think him losing good hurt him, bro. Yeah. I think him losing that veteran presence next to him hurt him. You know what I mean? He had to look over to Illuminor, and the Illuminor don't know he's been on the team for like 14 days.
He can't even spell his last name. Yeah.
He's like, bro, what the hell they're doing? Let's just go. And, and he wasn't. I don't feel like Leatherwood last season. I thought he was set up to succeed a little bit. And then good went down, and then it was just like, now we're just playing musical chairs, bro. You know what I mean? So
Colin Miller
don't give up on Leatherwood. Let's see him play. I think coaching staff is detrimental, and coaching is detrimental. And the Patriots have one of the Patriots. The guy that we got from the Patriots is one of the best offensive line coaches in the NFL. So
Colton Miller was worse his rookie year than Alex Leatherwood. I'll say it.
Way
worse.
I was not a big fan of Colton Miller. Even I was like, get this scrub off the field. Then he turned out to be one of our best offensive linemen on this team. So Tevin Jenkins is 24 years old. He's 6'6", he's 320, and he went in he was the 39th pick in the second round.
I figured he was a pretty high pick. That's what I figured.
And they're trying to trade him already? That's not good.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he got injured last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he missed an extended period of time last year.
Yeah, because he was already injured coming into the draft.
Yeah. So I think that's probably why they're kind of experimenting with the dude can't stay healthy. But damn,
I think you froze, brother.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I think your camera froze though.
All right, stand by.
So his camera froze, and he's going to be back with us, man. So people was talking about it yesterday, Raider man. I don't know why a lot of people in Raider Nation make this a big deal. It was a lot of people. I don't know if it's Tashawn Reed that put the list out of players that were there you go.
There he is.
There you go. He put out a list of players that was not at practice. But the main one they talked about was Darren Waller, but the list was Alex Bars, Brandon Parker, Nick Bowers, Darren Waller, Jacob Hollister, Cleveland Farrell, Devon Diablo, Cravon LeBlanc, Rock Yassin, Anthony Everett, Ike Brown, and Tyrese Gillespie. That all of those was not at practice today. But everybody keeps saying about Darren Waller missing practice because he's the big face of this list that missed that training camp. Do you think this is a big issue that he's missing that training camp? Because I don't think he's holding out. But do you think is it something big to be concerned about with Darren Waller at this point?
From what I'm seeing is that the Raiders are kind of announcing injuries. They've said this guy's not playing due to injury. This guy's not playing. They never said. We had the same, incident with Chandler Jones. A lot of us were like, well, what's going on? Is he hurt? Is he hurt? But he was back at practice. I think I heard a little something on sports radio. But they said there's a term now called holding in. So we're like, you're at the facility and you're doing shit behind the scene, but you're kind of holding out for a contract.
Debo Samuel.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I've heard. They don't know if that's what it is with Waller, but it's definitely a thing where players are in the building, but they're doing shit behind the scenes because they're expecting a new contract. The Raiders are probably working something out. They're probably crunching numbers right now, and they don't want him to get hurt out there on the practice field. That's a possibility. The couple players that do concern me though, before I move on, but last year in training camp, they said Darren Waller was hurt. Darren Waller's on the jugs on the sideline. He's not running. He's on. They kind of said he was hurt. This year, nobody knows. That's why I think it may be a holding in thing. The players that concern me is Farrell. He didn't play last preseason game. Now, is he hurt? Or is he on the trade block? Do they have a trade lined up for him? What's going on with him? And then Averett. Averett, I don't think has been around, much of training camp neither. I think he's been banged up a little bit too. So I don't want to hold too much, dude. We got we're still a little over 4 weeks away from football.
And we got 4 corners and a safety that did not practice today. Yeah. Rock Yassin, Cravon LeBlanc, Anthony Everett, and Ike Brown, and Tyrese Gillespie. All those did not practice today.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I don't really know, but I don't want to jump the gun. And I don't want to just assume Waller's injured. I think that brings negativity. I don't want to assume that none of our players are injured. I think it may be a little bit bigger than that because this is practice, bro. It's training camp. We're talking about Darren Waller. So
right.
Yeah, I'm not concerned. I don't know if you guys remember, but we once had a wide receiver almost like freeze his feet off. So this is sort of just a blip in the radar, considering the stuff that we used to deal with. I would be more concerned to injury stuff once we get to the preseason game where they act like a dress rehearsal, which is going to be the third one for us because we have 4. I don't know how
typically the third.
Yeah. So yeah, once that game rolls around and people aren't practicing, I think I'll start to pay a little more attention to it. But yeah, as long as Darren Waller doesn't freeze his feet or change his helmet illegally, then we're all right.
So Sean Reed he tweeted out as some of the notable absentees that was in action. Last time they saw Cleveland Farrell in action was July 27th. Waller, Yassin, and Everett July 30th, and Parker and Diablo last Thursday. So, I mean, Cleveland Farrell has not been practicing since July 27th. Waller, Yassin, and Everett have not been practicing since July 30th. So, I mean, I feel like the corners is starting to be a concern if they're really injured. If you know what I'm saying, I don't want to speculate and say if they are, but that's kind of a concern to see Rock Yassin knowing that we traded for him and he might be that number 2 or probably our number 1 corner until Trayvon Mullen comes back. So that's just kind of a little small concern for me.
Here's what I'll say. If it's like a massive season-altering injury, we would have already heard about it because of the Mekhi Becton thing or the Myles Garrett thing. These things come out fast from the big guys. And if Darren Waller was like, he might miss a couple, we would already hear about it. So I think for right now, it's okay to just sort of sit tight and wait.
That's exactly my point, bro. It's like, if they're all injuries that are to big time players are getting out, this guy may be out for a couple of weeks. This guy may be out for a couple of weeks. I don't think the Raiders are just like, oh, we're not going to tell anybody that Darren Waller's hurt. oh, we're not going to tell anybody that this player's hurt.
Right.
They maybe do, like I said, bro, this is a facility, bro, where they have an outside facility and an inside facility. These dudes could be working on the inside, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's, like I said, man, if it's injuries, something would have come out. And especially with big time players like Darren Waller, I'm sure McDaniels would have said something.
So the temperature over 100 degrees at practice, don't forget to hydrate. That could be another thing too. You know, some players are sitting out because just of the heat in itself, knowing that sometimes they are outside, sometimes they are inside, depending on the day. So you might see Waller at practice on the indoor facility, but you might not see him outside when it's 110 degrees in dry heat. I mean, I wouldn't be out there either. I'm just throwing it out there. Any news on Parker, which we actually talked about. We didn't hear any updated news on Parker at this moment. They might be inside. That's a possibility too. Yo, that's not Raider Gabe, just to let you know. It's not Raider Gabe, that's Raider Ben.
Oh no, Raider Gabe is in the chat.
Oh, that is Raider Gabe.
Yeah, Raider Gabe's
you in the chat, bro. I mean, where you at?
Yeah, Raider Gabe's in your chat. He said trading for real for what? For a box of
There
cookies?
you go, my guy.
I don't know.
What up?
I said, man, there could be millions of reasons why they're not practicing. Like I said, man, I don't think it's injuries, man. You know, we've listed a couple of our players that are injured, and those guys aren't the guys that are injured. So
yeah. So we saw this today of our Raider own Marshawn Lynch getting arrested today, man. I don't know if y'all saw the mugshot. That mugshot didn't look too well on Marshawn Lynch, man. I mean, that's your Oakland guy, Raider, man. That's your Oakland guy, man.
yeah.
Did get arrested on a DUI today in Las Vegas. You know how Las Vegas are about their DUIs. They do not play when it comes to those. I know I don't want to keep it negative, but I mean, he's a Raider. He's from Oakland. He played with us, so we got to throw it out there, man. And I think I don't say he won't get a slap on the wrist, but you know how they are very lenient. They're very
Oh God.
Yeah.
He got him with his eyes closed. It was a flash.
Oh my God.
Shout out to the homie Marshawn Lynch.
That looks like he's joining us on the show.
Oh man, like somebody punched him in the eye, man. But he doesn't look too well there, man. What are y'all thoughts on Marshawn? We don't really hear much about him in this type of matter anyway. But just give us the quick thoughts on this, with Marshawn.
Go ahead, bro.
Here's what I'll say. If anyone watching this is ever in this position, just call a friend or call an enemy, call somebody, and they'll pick you up. Number one, so you don't get in trouble or hurt anyone, and number two, so you don't take a mugshot that looks like that for all the world to see. That's all I'll say about that.
I'm gonna say like this: for the most part, Marshawn Lynch has been really closed doors. This kind of shit you don't really see with Marshawn.
Right.
He must have been out there turning up on some real town shit, bro, like in Vegas, because that's the only way I could see him driving drunk. You know what I'm saying? He's always talked about having all these bottles of Hennessy and shit. But that just goes to show, man, Vegas ain't playing. Like, they don't give a fuck who you are. You Marshawn Lynch, we still giving your ass a DUI. We ain't. So, I don't, and also I think it's a bad look, man, because we already have a history of, previous players that were DUIs, and we already know how that panned out. And,
right.
I'm glad nobody got hurt. I'm glad he didn't hurt himself. Not a good look, I'll tell you that much. It's not, I think, regardless of, who you are, Marshawn Lynch or, the worst criminal of all time.
Just don't get a DUI in Las Vegas.
Just don't drive drunk. You're putting innocent people at risk, not only yourself. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I think that's really the more of an issue with it, bro. I just think that he put a lot of people at risk, man, and that's not good. I mean, he could have. I don't know if you guys heard about that lady in LA last week, dude. She got really drunk and got in an argument with her boyfriend and blew through a red light in LA at like 60 miles an hour and hit a car with the family. It was like a pregnant woman, her boyfriend, and their baby, bro. The baby got ejected out of the car and the car blew up in flames. So I don't condone drunk driving at all, bro. I could just imagine, if he could have, hit somebody with the family and shit. So I love Marshawn Lynch though. I'm obviously, you feel me? I ride with Oakland all the way. You guys see the hat, you feel me? I love all Raider fans, but I was a season ticket holder in Oakland, and I know the love that Marshawn Lynch has in Oakland. I know the love that Marshawn Lynch has for the city of Oakland. So just a bad look all around.
Just to talk about that season ticket holder box that you got, man, that thing was amazing.
Oh, that's not my box. That is not my box.
Oh, I thought it was yours.
Nah, that's not my box.
But that was dope.
It was if you guys seen the little dope ass it was all over social media.
Yeah, it was making the rounds.
Yeah, it was making its rounds where everybody was sharing it on Twitter. And I'm not a big Twitter guy, so I just put it on my YouTube channel. So yeah.
So we speaking of Derek Carr behind your screen here.
That thing is horrifying.
Not as horrifying.
I got this too. I just
very intimidated to a point like, listen, Carr
I got this too here
this year. Wait a minute.
I could play the game behind us and shit behind me.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that is dope. How the hell you do that?
I couldn't believe he got that ball.
Yeah, that's OBS. I use OBS as a camera for StreamYard, and anything that I through OBS, I can put on StreamYard. Yeah, so like when I do my play-by-plays, bro, I do my play-by-plays with OBS, and I come into StreamYard so I can highlight comments and shit. But like I could do.
Yeah, we gotta talk. We gotta talk because that's amazing, man. I know a little bit about OBS. I had my OBS days back in the day, but with integrating with StreamYard and stuff like that. Yeah, we definitely gotta talk, bro.
Yeah, no doubt for sure.
But they was talking about, according to RaidersWire.com, they was talking about how Raiders quarterback Derek Carr has not thrown an interception during training camp.
What else is new?
What exactly? I'm like, okay, he has not thrown an interception. They saying that Derek Carr has looked really sharp throughout training camp. Haven't observed him throw any interception, and it's clear that his chemistry with wide receiver Davante Adams hasn't gone anywhere. Carr has already proven himself to be one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but still impressive to see how quickly he adjusted to learning yet another play caller in an offensive scheme. I mean, he's been in the league for 9 years. How many offensive coordinators he had? 6 out of the 9?
Yes.
So I feel like he knows an offense. The language just changed. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like with the NFL, it's a copycat league. No matter what coach you get, most of the offenses are the same. It's just that the lingo is different. So I'm not really too surprised about him not throwing an interception in training camp. I just want to see what he does when it comes to week 1, because a lot of not week 1, but just this season, because it's a few people that I work with over on the Spotlight Sports Network. Saying Carr is one of those quarterbacks that's under pressure this year to succeed. And I mean, I don't know about that one. I mean, because I know this is the most weapons that he had. So does that make him a little bit under pressure? I don't think so. What's your thoughts on
that? Derek Carr threw a pick today. He did. He threw a pick looking for Davante Adams to Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs took him. And I think he took him for a touchdown too, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, he didn't. No, he didn't take him for a touchdown, but he got a pick 4 hours
ago.
He threw
that article out.
Yeah, he threw one today. Nate Hobbs. I don't know if you guys seen that clip, of Davante and Nate Hobbs working. I think at the end of the day, I think it's going to make these corners really good. But yet, Nate Hobbs got a hold of Derek Carr today when he was looking for Davante Adams.
Just imagine if you're Nate Hobbs going up every day against Davante Adams. Then you play the Kansas City Chiefs and you got Juju Smith-Schuster. You're like, what? I just guarded Davante Adams for 2 months. Oh, go ahead, Juju.
But let me. I don't know if y'all saw this on my Instagram. I know. Rodney used to have an Instagram.
I don't have Instagram.
I don't have it.
Raider don't have an Instagram, but I did post it on my Instagram. I might post it on my Twitter as well. while I was at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and y'all might know this Super Bowl 15 linebacker in Jeff Barnes for the Raiders. He was at the Hall of Fame, and I was at the pro shop getting some more Raiders stuff for me to put up on my memorabilia and stuff. He was talking to other Raiders fans from other states. I found out that Jeff Barnes is from Philadelphia.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
He is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and he told this story why his name was Jefferson Barnes. He was born at Jefferson Hospital in Philadelphia, and that's what his mom named him after.
Shit.
Jefferson Barnes.
That's
And
cool.
it was a good conversation to letting him know that I'm from Philadelphia as well. I live in the city of Philadelphia, and he signed my my Raiders draft hat. So I have a collectible that I'm going to have to frame soon. He did have his Super Bowl rings on, Super Bowl 15 to be exact. And I did post a picture of him and me on Instagram. So that was just a small little story that I met, a Super Bowl winning champion, in Jeff Barnes. It was pretty dope to see out there.
When is he coming on the show?
I'm trying to get him to come on the show.
I knew you were.
I'm trying to get him to listen. I do want to. That's another thing with this podcast. I do want to get some, legends or some older players that used to play for the Raiders on this show to talk about the upcoming season and stuff of that nature. So it's in the works. I'm waiting for a response, but it's in the works.
I'm not going to give anything away, but it's a lot easier to get in contact with current and former Raider players than you might think. We might have to talk after this.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely could, have this here and still have, this could be our core. And then you know how it goes, man. Y'all know what the Raiders do here.
I've been trying to get people.
The Raiders do here.
I've been trying to get people to play me in Madden for a while, and I had one set up, and then this person injured their hand. You guys can do the math on that. I won't say who it was, but they injured their hand and couldn't play. But it was almost done.
Oh, wow. What console do you play on?
I have both.
Shit, I got Xbox, bro. You can play me whenever, bro. I play Xbox. I play Madden on my channel. I play Madden on my channel all the time.
Oh, we're gonna have to set something up. Maybe Darian could commentate. He could be like the Almighty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could do play by play. I could definitely do play by play with that. I have no problem doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, I play Madden on my channel a lot. So yeah, bro,
me too.
whenever we can definitely play for sure with that. Because it's crazy because a lot of people that I know, they all have PlayStation. I have PlayStation too, but I don't buy Madden for both consoles. I mainly have a PlayStation for, God of War and all their games that I can't get on Xbox.
Yeah.
Everybody that I play with that I've been playing for a long time, their core is on Xbox. That's just where I play at. So
yeah, I gotta get on with y'all too. I have not played Xbox in so long. And now actually I have played, but my cousin is he's good with software, and he was able to put all the old Nintendo games, all the old PlayStation games on Xbox.
Yeah, that's sick.
So he was able to get one. He sent me a video of him playing Crash Bandicoot on Xbox. The old Crash Bandicoot.
Oh wow!
Oh, I had it for the PlayStation 1. I had it.
Yeah, me too.
So, yeah, if y'all in the chat, if you don't know about the PlayStation 1 with the gray box, you too young right now.
Yeah, you're out. Yep.
You too young right now. I'm telling my age. For real.
It would be a huge circle. The whole thing would pop up, and you have to put
So he says, who's your favorite Raider of all time? Mine is Jerry Rice. Okay. Come on, Ben. I would like to hear your favorite Raider of all time, man.
I'm a dog, bro. My favorite player of all time is Jack Tatum, the most feared safety ever played this sport. You know what I mean? One of the dudes that, made me, a fan of this team, him and Atkinson in the backfield. And, I thought that 30 for 30 of Al Davis just made it so much more sweet on how dominant those dudes were in that backfield. And yeah, man, he, in my opinion, he embraced what the Raiders were the most. Like, we were feared. You are not going to come across the middle of this field. You are not coming across our defense. We're going to fuck you up. And then my favorite player of all time, I also have a second category because I'm young. I'm a first generation football fan, not only a Raider fan. I didn't get to see I didn't have my parents tell me about the history of the Raiders. A lot of the shit I learned on my own. So I like to speak on who my favorite players were that I got to see because I didn't really know too much about the history. And my favorite player of all time that I got to see was Nnamdi Asomugha. Nnamdi Asomugha was hands down the best player I've ever seen play.
He should never left
and with
the
my
Raiders,
eyeballs. Dude, I seen him lock down Andre Johnson man to man in his prime, no catches. I seen him lock down Steve Smith in his prime, one catch. And dude, they would put Nnamdi Asomugha here and the ball wouldn't even go there, bro. Like that entire side of the field was done. There was a huge debate against, the Darrelle Revis, the Nnamdi Asomugha shit. I think, at the end of the career, I think is where Nnamdi Asomugha kind of hurt his reputation because the Philadelphia Eagles ruined his career. But yeah,
Green team.
My favorite player of all time is Lester Hayes, but my favorite player that I got to see growing up ever was Nnamdi Asomugha.
So 2 things about Nnamdi Asomugha. I met him once a long time ago. He's one of the nicest people of all time, which is just a good thing because when you meet people, sometimes they aren't. But he was awesome. And the second thing is he's like a really good, famous actor now, which is so random and weird. My favorite, 100% Charles Woodson. He was some of my first memories ever because I was born in 1998. Was seeing Charles Woodson.
I'm definitely telling my age now. You were born in 98? My God.
That's correct. But I think maybe one of my favorite games to watch that we ended up losing was the game where he picked Peyton Manning off twice, because the whole lead up to that game was Peyton Manning was the one quarterback he can never intercept, and he did it twice in one game, all pro at the age of 38. Defensive touchdown record holder, right?
He's got the most, I think,
The most
turnovers
touchdowns
for
of all
touchdowns
time.
or whatever. Yeah.
I wish he would have played one more year for that 2015 team because they were actually decent, but he's definitely my favorite of all time. I love him.
My favorite of all time is, is somebody that my uncle and my aunt, they're from the West Coast. They moved there when I was at a young age, and they always wanted me to come to the West Coast, because they lived in Oakland for a little bit. Now they live in Inglewood, California. But when I was growing up, I used to come out to Oakland as a kid, and my uncle used to watch Bo Jackson when he was at Auburn, and when he went to the Raiders, and even when he played baseball, like Bo Jackson was one of those guys that my uncle would tell me how hard he ran and how fast he was, how elusive he was, and it made me fall in love with the silver and black, knowing that I am from Philadelphia. And there's heavy Philadelphia Eagles fans in this city. So it's just like, they're like, oh, how you become a Raiders fan and stuff like that? Ask my uncle. You want to call him on the West Coast? You could call him and tell him how it, when I say is Raider out in the house, is Raider out. Like it look like he could get dressed up like Violator sometimes and just do it for the hell of it. That's how much he loves the Raiders. And when it comes down to Bo Jackson, it made me want to play running back. That's one guy that made me want to play running back, and I did. I played in it as a kid. So, Bo Jackson was one of them. Yeah, Charles Woodson was definitely my time. Nnamdi Asomugha, definitely my time. But if I want to go back on history, and when I did my research, I'm gonna go back to Biletnikoff. I like the way Biletnikoff played, and I as me growing up as a football fan, people were like, oh, why are you not outside? Because I'm watching NFL films. That's why I'm watching NFL films. So I was a big NFL films fan, and when Raiders came down, when they talked about the Raiders in their seasons, in their Super Bowls, I learned that history just by watching it, and it made me fall in love with the Raiders as an organization, as a team in its own. So. Bo Jackson and Biletnikoff is my two favorite players of all time. I love Tim Brown. Tim Brown is one of the greatest receivers to come through, the Raiders, but Biletnikoff is definitely my guy. Absolutely. Raider Ben is over there just messing around. He looking.
Oh my God!
You see?
Whoa!
Let's see that's scary, man. That's scary.
Yeah, so I'm basically in a scene right now that's actually the scene that I run my podcast on. See, I can kind of so I'm trying to find a picture. I'm just kind of scrolling through pictures and I was trying to find my locker room picture, but I can't find it. So That's the
So,
thing, bro. That's what happens
Rodney,
when
I
you're
know you had
unorganized.
some topics that you sent to me
Oh
as
yeah, I
well
want
that
to.
we really didn't get through, but we could definitely talk about it now.
This is just a stupid little thing that I observed watching Josh McDaniels scream at Malcolm Kuntz. That's like one of my favorite videos of all time. I watch it like once a day. But now, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you guys subscribed to the Raider official YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there not a Derek Carr mic'd up video that was like posted 3 weeks ago that's like no longer there?
Don't remember.
I don't
I
remember
think
a mic'd up
I
Derek
think
Carr
there was
video.
I don't know if it was Carr, but there was a mic'd up video that had that Josh McDaniels screaming at Kuntz thing. It was like the extended version, and you could see Carr laughing, but they took it down. I think they took it down because McDaniels was like, "Get that off the internet." But anyway, my point is, while he was screaming at Carr, they were running a drill, and they did it with all the quarterbacks, where Carr would hike the ball, and McDaniels would be behind him. And if you watch the video, you could see the end of it before he screams at Kuntz. And he's saying, right, right, right. And Derek Carr will run all the way to the right with the ball. And then he'll say, left, left, and he'll run to the left. And it's like a scramble drill. And I think that drill is what's going to take Derek Carr to the next level, because I was watching the Cincinnati Bengal game, the playoff game yesterday, the condensed version. And on that last play, we all know the ball didn't make it to the end zone and got picked off. My problem with that play is I wish Derek would just start running around. You get somebody open, somebody falls over, there's a flag. And I think Josh McDaniels has seen that the one flaw in Derek's game is that he doesn't really extend the play. He'll just throw it away or take the underneath guy. That drill he's making them do, where he runs to the left and runs to the right, and he does it over and over, and then he'll say throw, and he throws it. I think that's going to really propel Derek into another level.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I didn't know that, and that is a damn good drill for Derek Carr, because there's a lot of plays where if you just break the pocket, bro. Don't just throw it at you just either he'll just throw it at their feet, or he'll just run a little bit and he'll crumble. It's like break the pocket. Like he don't really have the whole making plays like the improviser type trait. And if that's that drill where Malcolm Kuntz kind of bumped into him, that's a really good drill, and I think that will benefit Derek Carr for sure.
And that's why he was screaming. That's why he was like, "Get out of the way," because he wants him to like continue to move the ball.
Yeah,
and stuff like
and it's great, because a lot of receivers, man, there's a lot of receivers that come out of college now that are kind of coached to help your quarterback. Like you see, when your quarterback breaks out, you see so many teams do it, bro. Like the Bills with Stephon Diggs, he does it a lot, bro. Tyler Lockett does it a lot. Like once their quarterbacks get out, they'll go and then they'll just cut the other way and just be wide open, bro. And I don't think Derek Carr takes advantage of that, man. And the way the game is now, this is a passing league.
Yeah.
People get their feet tripped up. Those are penalties, like you were talking about. If you got the chance to elevate your passing game by just moving a little bit, because when you do that, defenders are naturally going to crash on you.
Yeah.
And just he got the loft ball, just lofted over their head. You know what I mean? And yeah, that would be a great drill. I didn't hear about that, but that sounds like that'd be awesome if he gets good at that, bro. Because that's definitely detrimental to his game, because he don't need to run. He don't need to be a scrambling quarterback. Like, dude, just break the pocket, make them commit.
Just slide left or slide right to try to get an extension of the play. We're not asking Derek Carr to be a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen. We're just not, because we know he's not that athletic to be those two. But to extend a play, we need him to start moving out of the pocket a little bit, so these receivers can get open. Or you know how it happened with the whole Brian Edwards catch last year. When he broke out the pocket, and then Edwards would end up being wide open and getting that catch. So that's something Derek Carr has to do on an offense. I understand that he had his injuries and he's kind of nervous about it, but I think it's time now. It's been a couple of years since he had those injuries, and he's been healthy majority since breaking. But I don't think he broke his back, but it was a back injury in some way.
It was his spine got screwed up.
Derek Carr broke his back. He broke I think 3 bones in his back.
But he only missed a game, which is
1 week.
Ridiculous.
Right. See, that's toughness there, and people need to respect that. Carr haters, stop! Don't do that.
Now,
I had to deal with Carr haters all last season. Had to deal with them.
You know what I love? You know what I love about Derek, though? You're right. He is not Josh Allen, but once in a while, if he scrambles, he will try to jump over 6 people, and you're like, "Oh God, relax there!"
Oh no. When Derek Carr gets hit and he goes down, I'm like, oh, please get back up.
Like,
Just
you
get
remember
back
in the
up.
Browns game, was that last year where he like
Last
ran
year.
for the first and he like got destroyed and it was like, God, relax there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And one thing, Derek Carr is a tough SOB, bro. I'll tell you that much. Like he will put his body on the line, and you know that I thought, you know, I don't know how everybody's been, but I know I've been very critical of Derek Carr at times. And I told everybody last year on my channel, I told everybody like after Gruden got fired, I told her I was like, this team is on the back of Derek Carr right now. Like
Yep.
Derek Carr knows this offense. He knows he's the longest tenured player on this damn team. Like he's pretty much the coach, bro. Like, yeah, Greg Olson is calling plays, but Derek Carr is going to have a lot of his shit into it. And, you know, I told everybody, you know, it's going to be on the back of him. And I think the way Derek Carr was able to, you know, carry all that pressure on his back, bro, like, you know, lose Ruggs the week after that, you know, and then obviously the Arnett bullshit. And then, you know, they lost Darren Waller. Darren Waller ended up getting hurt in Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And he was out towards almost till the end of the year. And he put that team on his back, bro. And, you know, I have a different respect level for Derek Carr. I'll say that much. Like, as much as I've been kind of critical on him, I definitely have a newfound respect for Derek. And I think he deserves that, especially the way he carried this team. Because if it wasn't for Derek Carr last year, that any regular team, they probably would have crumbled when they lost their coach and then lost Ruggs with the situation. And Derek Carr grabbed this team, bro. And that right there shows me how much faith his teammates have in him. So I think it's going to be detrimental because I think Derek Carr is that coach on the field type quarterback.
he's also the owner for press conferences. Like Mark
Yes,
Davis is
he
nowhere to be
is.
found. They're asking Derek Carr about the Henry. Like Derek should be like, I wasn't the one who drafted him. This is kind of above my pay grade. But no, he stands there and he takes it like he is the founder of the Raiders or something. It's insane.
Yeah, and people say that, you know, he's under pressure. I kind of like disagree with that. I think he's been
Been through
under
so
pressure
much.
from the critics since he's been drafted. That's just my opinion. People don't want to put him as a top 10 quarterback because of the teams that he had. And I feel like Derek Carr is a top 10 quarterback. Is he a top 5? I don't say he's top 5, but I'll say he's definitely top 10.
I got him at
definitely
7.
between that 6 and 7 area if you want to
7.
look at numbers wise. But people want to be like, no, they want to put these other guys. And this is the thing that kills me with a lot of football fans. When I do top 10 quarterbacks, I go off of relevancy. You know what I'm saying? I go off of relevancy. I go off what you did last year. And people feel that Deshaun Watson should be in the top 10.
He shouldn't even be on a list.
That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like he needs to be on this list because I go off of base of what have you done for me lately? How can you have Deshaun Watson? Don't get me wrong, he's talented, but he has not played in 2 years. How can you put him in a top 10 when he has not played? Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense.
Popularity contest, bro.
Think about this. Tua Tagovailoa has a better career record than Justin Herbert. Think about that.
Let me come back on that one. Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up.
I think Tua is 13-8 and Herbert's 15-17. That is an unbelievable stat.
Yeah. Tua's got a better win percentage. Matthew Lincoln. My name is Raider Ben on YouTube. Just look up Raider Ben, bro. You can find me. I'm the only Raider Ben on YouTube.
Trying to find my.
No, I have a good friend of mine that's a Dolphins fan, bro, and he gets into it with Charger fans on YouTube all the time, bro. And I've been telling everybody, bro. I just think Justin Herbert's just another bona fide Phillip Rivers, bro. He's not going to be no better than Phillip Rivers. I don't think he'll ever have the same talent Phillip Rivers ever played with.
And to be clear, like Phillip Rivers is borderline Hall of Famer. So
yeah, that's not me bashing him. I just, you know, I think he's not going to ever be, you know, that dude. You know what I mean? And we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have the same, you know, fear or whatever you can call that some fans have of the Chargers. Like the Chargers don't even really, I feel like the Chargers are more hyped than anything else. I think the Chargers are probably the most hyped team every single year.
Well, the thing
they
with
don't
Herbert,
never do nothing.
Herbert is getting the Deshaun Watson treatment pre all the bad stuff, where Deshaun Watson was like God's gift to football, but like never won anything. The only playoff game Watson ever won was against Josh Allen, his second year in the league, and they almost lost in overtime in Houston. Justin Herbert's got amazing stats, but they were down 14 or 15 with 6 minutes to go in a win-or-go-home basically playoff game. That's
right.
You're the quarterback of that football team.
I've been trying to tell Chargers fans, I've been trying to tell football fans, year after year after year, the Chargers supposed to go to the AFC Championship. They supposed to hit the postseason. No matter what quarterback they got, they just cannot get over the hump. And now I can't wait to play the Chargers now, because knowing that Khalil Mack went to the Chargers and not decided to come back to the Raiders, but go to a division rival, that is something that I'm really looking forward to see in week 1 with Raiders versus Chargers. Now, when it comes to Justin Herbert, of course, the hype is going to be around him. He's like the sunshine of the Remember the Titans. He gives you that quarterback look like he's going to be Tom Brady endorsement for Uggs or some crap like that. But I feel like right now, Justin Herbert,
he's really good.
He's really good, but he can't get to no postseason. He's not. And people going to say, oh, Derek Carr can't get to no postseason either. Derek Carr did get to a postseason last year. I mean, things didn't happen the way it did, but Justin Herbert has not seen the postseason yet. So they'll put Herbert over Carr any day because of what he did in the regular season and who he had at the Chargers. But the Chargers are already an underachieving team every single year. Simple
every year. Yep. And I'll always say that they're not, like, I'm not going to be the one to like predict finally this is the Chargers year. When they do it one year, then I'll be like, okay, now I see it. Even though I said last year the Bengals would make the playoffs, everyone said it was crazy. Sorry, I just wanted to bring that up.
I ain't going to even lie, though. I'm not going to even lie, Rodney. I was one of those guys that I thought you was crazy about the Bengals making the playoffs.
Yep,
Queen,
no big deal.
Raider Ed, what's going on, Queen?
See, the thing is like I loved how we finished that year last season, right?
Yeah.
How we were able to knock off Justin Herbert because they had the media be all over him, bro. He's like the damn golden boy, one of the golden boys of the league, and so much hype around him, bro. And Derek Carr's so bad, bro. But I mean, when it mattered, I mean, dude, check this out, bro. Like, they beat us the first time, right, dude? They were up 21-0. They needed us to miss a field goal late in that game to completely ice that game. We were on the verge. We had momentum, and then Daniel Carlson missed that field goal, and then they went down the field to score and pretty much ice it. But I feel like the Chargers are going to be competitive. I don't have a lot of concern about the Chargers. I think Chandler Jones and Max Crosby are going to have some pretty good games because Justin Herbert does like to hold on to the ball a lot too. So
correct.
Absolutely. So you said that first game, the refs helped them. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And make sure y'all go and subscribe to these guys, man. Especially, these guys been putting in the work. I think Rodney's trying to get the 4K. Ben is trying to get the 2K, if I'm not mistaken, right? So make sure y'all go and sub up. The links are in the description for both of their channels. Make sure y'all subscribing. Just to let you know, the Just Win Baby podcast is this Friday, right, Ben?
Yeah, every Friday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
So make sure y'all go check out. Make sure y'all check out that. And Rodney, when the next time you're doing a Madden video for the Raiders for this upcoming season?
Week 5. So I'm playing through the schedule right now with the updated rosters. Week 5 comes out tomorrow. That's Kansas City Chiefs. We're 4-0 going into week 5. And the video I just uploaded was a little trailer hype video for this upcoming season. And I'm not a big bragger, but it's pretty good. So if you guys want to check
make sure y'all go check out those, man. And this podcast will be on the Spotlight Raiders Talk, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. Is going to be all on platforms.
5 stars.
They're about making a whole brand new one and calling it Nothing But Raiders Podcast. That's what I'm thinking as well. Just keeping it that way instead of calling it Spotlight Raiders.
Why don't you call it the Alex Leatherwood Showtime Extravaganza?
You know what, Rodney? You're gonna leave me alone. you're going to leave me alone now, because I get nicknames all the time when it comes to the offensive line or the defensive line, like Baby Trip Brown, and now it's Alex Leatherwood. Whatever name that the Raider Nation comes up with when it comes to Alex Leatherwood, I would definitely make a T-shirt for it, and I will put it on a T-shirt. I'm letting you know right now.
You're welcome. It's all about that product.
Yep, and it's gonna be sponsored. It's gonna be sponsored by Rodney.
Right, I get 10%.
Yeah, get 10%. Get 10% off on the shirt. I might make that 15. I might make it 15. You know, depending on how many
Perfect.
How many shirts is sold. You know,
Yeah.
but shout out to Queen Raider Rat putting y'all links in the chat there. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to both of these guys, man. These are some good brothers right here. Nothing but Raiders. That's all we talk about. Is just Raiders, Raiders, Raiders. We don't care about the whiners. We don't care about none of these. And I can't wait to play them too, because my brother's a Whiners fan. Well, my guy
I'll be at that game.
Are you going to that game?
Yeah, me and a good friend of mine who's a 49ers fan, we're going to be in Vegas on New Year's Eve, so it should be a great time.
Good luck.
So Bomber T says, how many Super Bowls I got? We got 3, bro. I don't know what you talking about.
Stay tuned for my playoff prediction. We might be adding another one to that.
Make that bold take, Rodney. Make that bold take, bro.
That's just a little tease.
not too serious, just a little bit.
Yeah,
just a little teaser. Just make sure when we get to week 17 and you see our record, you're gonna see why we're the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Oh, I'll tell you this: we're gonna win the division. That's already out there. We're going to win the division next.
It's the 20th anniversary since we've won our division. It's been 20 years this year since the last time the Raiders won the AFC West.
This guy, you must be a Chargers fan. You're a guy.
He's from my
channel.
He's from my channel. I don't know if he's ever been here before, but I keep it.
That
dude trolls my channel all the time, bro. I share because obviously I shared the link out. So
I love it. Especially make sure you subscribe to Spotlight Raiders Talk, and when we play the Chargers reaction Monday, make sure you call up to the show. Make sure you call up.
Maybe he's talking about the second time we play. We'll be resting all our starters because we'll be like 16 an hour or whatever.
Raider Kojo, I am going to the Jacksonville game.
Oh,
I am going to Florida to go to the Jacksonville game. If y'all want to go to the Jacksonville game, get the tickets now because they're cheap as hell for great seats.
Trap game
near the 50-yard line. 50-yard line. The ticket was like $162.
You think you'll see Urban Meyer maybe in the stands?
Hey, if I see Urban Meyer in the stands, I'm ignoring him. I used to love Urban Meyer as a coach when he was at Florida and Ohio State, but now no.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad I was able to get a hold of you. I'm glad I was able to get a hold of you on Twitter, bro, because I've been banned for like the last week for talking about Joey Bosa's big ass nose. They banned me on Twitter. I seen the
Twitter though,
because I seen a picture. I seen a picture of Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa stand next to each other, and Joey Bosa just fucking huge nose just sticking out. And I trolled, bro. I retweeted, and I'm like, yeah, he's gonna trip over that big ass nose and blow his knee out, bro. And fucking they said, nope, see ya.
If you think about it, he's always offsides because his nose is over the line. He should just be flagged immediately.
Bro, he's got like his big ass tortilla chip, like a gordita on his face, bro. Like,
it's a tough look. He's a good player, but it's a tough look. It's a tough one.
I think that week 17,
not Josh McDonald's though.
I think that week 17, that statement that he had made about Derek Carr after that first game, I think that shit made it so much sweeter. Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, you talking about? He
was calling him soft.
Yeah, and then Derek Carr dapped him up. Then he was like, "Good game, bro." Slapped his butt.
Well, Joey Bosa need to tell his coach that he's soft for calling that timeout. Thank you very much.
Right,
we appreciate that. That was soft. That was soft of a coach.
Chris Collinsworth was like, "What?"
For like, okay, well, you guys can have it. We don't want the tie no more. Like, you guys got it.
Forget it. We just gonna win the game. Forget it now. Y'all both could have. We both could have been in the playoffs. We would have played y'all again and probably beat y'all again. I mean, I'm just saying.
One of the best pictures all time is Derek Carr waiting to call that timeout. Like,
that's gonna be forever, bro, because it's gonna be the game that allowed him to play in his first ever playoff game. He made it last time, but he didn't get to play in it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that was 6 years ago. That's kind of crazy that was 6 years ago. But
I was at that game too. That shit was heartbreaking, bro. That game was fucking absolutely heartbreaking.
You were at the Colts game?
Yeah, because I had season tickets in Oakland from 2014 until 2018. And yeah, that the atmosphere of that place went from obviously the Raiders, who were, you know, possibly going to win the AFC West, to a funeral, bro, at the drop of a dime, bro. Like that place went like the air got sucked out, bro, like instantly. And then you could see him up on the screen yelling. And my wife, my mother-in-law's deaf, so she texted me instantly. She's like, his legs broke because she read his lips on the TV. It's broke. It's broke. So, you know, yeah, I was the dude, man. It's crazy because my daughter, that was her first ever game, and she was a big Derek Carr's fan. And yeah, dude, you could just, it was just, yeah, it was bad.
I said when I seen Derek Carr break his leg, I said, God damn it, Donald Penn, you fat fart. That's exactly what I said.
He was so angry. You could see how angry Donald.
The only sack he gave up all year.
Yup. And
he fell down. He fell down, bro. And dude rolled up on his leg
that year too.
So I was in Florida for that. We were watching the game in Florida that happened. 2 years later, I'm in Florida for right before the season's about to start and Khalil Mack was traded. I was like, I'm never coming back to the state again. Anyway.
Yeah, the Khalil Mack trade really got me, man. I was like, God damn it, John Gruden, y'all starting off bad already. I already know how this tender is going to go.
Remember 2 days before that in the press conference, he's like, he's a Raider for life. He's traded.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then after he gets rid of him a few months later, it's hard to find pass rushers.
People was mad at me because I was not a fan of John Gruden coming back. I was not a fan of it. I was like, y'all waited so long to think that he's going to turn this franchise around. And what he did, he made it abysmal in the tenure that he was here. I was not a big fan of Gus Bradley being our new defensive coordinator because I knew what happened when he was with the Chargers playing that cover 3-4-2-5B crap, that bull crap that he's going to do it in Indianapolis Colts. So, I mean, he never blitzes, and I already knew it. I'm like, okay, just give him a chance. Just give him a chance. I was never a big fan of Gus Bradley either.
But to bring it back full circle, you could tell by one preseason game where no starters played that we're in good hands.
Yeah. Yes, it was just showing about a Hall of Fame game and looking at the defense and how they played. The thing that really got me in the Hall of Fame game was turnovers on the defense side of the ball. I said, "Oh snaps, we are getting turnovers," and when I'm like, "We're getting fumbles. Like, what is going on here?"
I kind of forgot. I was like, "Is that against the rules? Are we allowed to get the ball there? That's crazy."
Darius Phillips, had that one would-be forced fumble. And then he had, he fell, bro, but he had a pick, bro. He jumped the route and just fell, bro. And the ball hit him right in his chest. But yeah, he played really good too. I think he's going to be primarily probably a special teams guy. I don't know how much burn he gets in a crowded cornerback room. Cause I think, players like Everett and Rocky Sin and Nate Hobbs. And, when we get Trayvon Mullen back, I think those guys are more talented than him in terms of coverage. But I know Darius Phillips is a return guy, so we'll probably see more of him in the return game. But no, dude, he played pretty good. And
did y'all see the hit with Matthias Farley did in the Hall of Fame?
That dude was lights out, bro.
Oh my God, I stood up in this. He's like, "How'd y'all call that?" I was going off. Like that's a flag, man.
He was coming down laying the wood, bro. Like, yeah, he was an enforcer for sure.
Was back with that hit. I really felt that.
At first, I thought he was a linebacker. I'm looking on the depth chart, like, where's this linebacker at, bro? And I'm like, oh, fuck, he's a safety lane wood like that. Like, that boy was coming down and hitting. Like, yeah, he wasn't playing like
he's only like 5'9". He's really short. And he
came down and was like, I'm playing for another week. Y'all ain't cutting me after this game. Like, for sure. Him and Walter, I thought both of those guys were like, dude, we're playing another week. Like, I think a lot of guys came out there and like, dude, we're playing another week. Like, we might not make this team, but we're going to come out this week and prove that we deserve to play another week. And I thought, that Farley dude definitely made a mark, and that Walter dude on offense definitely made a mark too. So,
yeah, absolutely. So, I just got not a tweet from, I don't know if y'all know Raider Scout. I know he's on Twitter under a different name, but I usually get most of my stuff for him. They said they worked out. I don't know why the Raiders keep working out running backs. I don't understand. But two more running backs that has been worked out was Levante Bellamy and Quay Holmes, running with a running back / fullback Brennan Knox. They said Bellamy has recorded a career 11 yards for 4 carries and added 5 special team tackles in 5 games. Holmes is 22 years old, 6'1", 210 pounds. appeared in 37 career games at Eastern Tennessee, recording 789 rush attempts for 4,233 yards and 45 touchdowns. Also added 94 receptions for almost 800 yards and 6 touchdowns. And he also added 567 return yards, posted a 4.41 40 time at his pro day. Holmes finished third in the Doak Walker Award as the best running back in college football and voted the FBS Offensive Player of the Year for Bellamy. Devontae Bellamy from Eastern Tennessee.
Well, what I'll say about that is I've definitely never heard of either of those people, but our running scheme in that Hall of Fame game reminded me a lot of the Kyle Shanahan pitch stuff with the 49ers. And if you guys know anything about the 49ers, those poor running backs can't stay healthy because Kyle Shanahan runs them into the ground. So maybe, we're just working on as many running backs as we can, keep tabs on them because these guys probably won't get signed. And if people go down, we've already worked people out. We don't have to waste our time. We know they can plug and play, whatever. That's my only thing.
Yeah, it's crazy we're bringing in more running backs. But I did hear a little tidbit yesterday about one of them running backs. I think it was the Bellamy guy. I know they did say yesterday that the Raiders were bringing in a running back today. So I think that's one of them. But the Patriots were always known by running back by committee, right? So they're probably just like he said, man, like just bringing in a group of guys. They get familiarized with them. And even if they don't sign, bro, don't mean that we're not going to get banged up at a certain point of the year. And, these guys are ready
and
to
they might be
play
on the
and
practice squad or something of that nature.
You just know Josh Jacobs is like halfway through the first game is going to like start limping. You're going to be like, God, Josh.
I hope not, bro. I think that was probably real big sign for me too in that preseason game. Like all those games, all those runs, he came off and he initiated contact. He came right off smiling.
Yep.
And that's what
every time he gets hit, I look at him like, just get up and walk to the.
So that's how I feel about Trayvon Mullen. I feel like Trayvon Mullen's glass sometimes, where every time Trayvon Mullen gets hit, it's like, oh fuck, dude, he's gonna go down, bro. Oh fuck. So yeah.
Somebody said, why not sign Le'Veon Bell? I think Le'Veon Bell is done with football.
He's gone. I don't think he's in the league anymore. Le'Veon Bell.
Probably like, who's that?
He could come in to teach Zamir White how to wait to hit the hole, and then we could cut him.
Yeah, right.
So for what's this for Knox? Brennan Knox. They saying that he's 6'1", he's 230 pounds, signed with the Cowboys as an undrafted free agent following the 2021 draft. Didn't appear in any games, but he did play for Marshall and appeared in 29 games with 550 rush, 2,852 yards, and 24 touchdowns. Also added 239 yards and 1 TD on 23 receptions. He converted to fullback with the Chiefs this offseason.
Maybe it's a little Kansas City Chiefs,
Lately, we've been looking at some Kansas City Chiefs, former Kansas City Chiefs players.
Little double agent action. They'll tell us the secret sauce,
we need the recipe for the Krusty Krab.
What about the secret stuff? For
yeah. Do you think DeMarcus Robinson, do you think they brought him in for practice and they were like, all right, go ahead, tell us everything? And he was like, all right, this is every play.
There was
the Raiders love speed kills.
Yeah,
there was a report. I think it was from Eric Weddle. I think when he came back, I think last season, year before that. And they asked him something like that, like, we know you've been to multiple teams. Like, say if you played against your former team, do you like say anything, like tell them like any of the insides? And he pretty much said, I mean, I don't know how much truthful it is. I don't know if he'd be like, yeah, I'm going to tell everything about the team, but he pretty much said, those, I don't do that because those are, at one point those are my brothers, and I don't go over there and just rat on them and tell them. So. Like I said, I don't think he's gonna come. I don't think he's gonna come out and be like, yeah, bro, I tell them everything, brother. But
no, I believe Eric Weddle seems like that type of guy. And okay, I don't want you then. I want you to tell me everything. Tell me everything, yeah. Eric
Weddle. Now I feel like if you're Marshawn Lynch, he probably came to the Raiders like, yeah, this is everything Seattle does, bro. Like, go out there and we're like chicken.
Marshawn, we're not in the NFC West. It's like, no, I want to tell you everything.
That's funny.
So they said, do you think we could find a trade partner for Jacobs or Drake?
No.
We are good at running back, especially with the Bolden edition.
No.
No.
Could we? Sure, because Josh Jacobs is really good, but we're not gonna. Don't give up on Josh just yet.
And that's why I didn't make a video about the whole speculation, because I have a whole group chat with the Spotlight Sports Network that does all sports on that side of YouTube. Mm-hmm. And we saw this guy wrote this post saying rumor about Josh Jacobs possibly being traded and he was being auditioned at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So I'm looking at this guy's Twitter. I'm like, this guy's not even verified. This guy doesn't even have 10,000 followers, not even 5,000 followers. Who is this guy bringing this report? So I'm like, I'm gonna let it pan out and see what happens. You see so many Raider content creators talk about Josh Jacobs being traded. I didn't believe it from 1 second.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it at all about Josh Jacobs being traded. So it was just blasphemy how people thought that it's a possibility that Josh Jacobs be going to 49ers or the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, y'all really gonna believe this source and then everybody go back and make another video? Oh, the source was fake.
So they got
it was fake.
They got 2 videos out of it.
Yeah, 2 videos out of it, and like Raider Ben said, that's why I don't put videos out immediately, because I want to see the full story comes out before anything.
Yeah, I don't do it because I'm lazy. But to speak to that article, just think for 1 second. They're auditioning Josh Jacobs against half of the first string of the worst team in the league. Who's going to watch that game and be like, this Josh Jacobs guy's pretty good? They don't need to audition him. There's 4 years of film on this guy. Like, what he did in that Hall of Fame game is not Howie Roseman's going to be like, get it. We got it. First round pick for this guy. No.
Yeah, I don't think there's a. First off, I never believed the Josh Jacobs crap, because this team is a talented fucking offense, and Josh Jacobs is a damn good running back. Yeah, he's dealt with injuries, but he's a damn good running back, bro. And I never was like, oh, they're trading him. I didn't believe it neither. I made a little video once they said they made it official. I was like, yeah, this is why. Once again, don't believe everything that you hear, because when we're in training camp and all there, you're going to hear so many rumors and wow, this is going to happen. This is going to happen.
The real news is so light. There's not that much to talk about.
And exactly. And like I said, man, just kind of wait till something's official. There's a reason why I have notifications on for Ian Rappaport and Vinny Bonsignor and Mick Akers and these guys that are in with the Raiders. And no disrespect to, the other guys who have inside guys, but if you have an inside and you make a video on it and it doesn't pan out, it's like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And you kind of got to eat your words. But like I said, I try to make everything once it becomes actually official.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. So there you have it, guys. Episode 5 is definitely in the book for nothing but Raiders. I want to thank Rodney for coming on. Thank Raider Ben, of course, always could come on, brother. I probably could come on just when the podcast on Friday night. I'll definitely keep you up for that, because East Coast, y'all be on all night. Y'all be on all night. I'll work that day, and then So hopefully,
we're all from Cali, so
hopefully I could be. I'm still on my little hangover from being in Canton because I was drunk so much.
I'll see you in about a year.
No, you won't see me in a year. Don't even do that, Rodney. We got some things up in the works too.
I know.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that at all until I see me in a year. But it was a year ago since you have been on the Spotlight Raiders Talk. So that's absolutely true at some point. But episode 5 is definitely in the books. Make sure you go follow. Let them know your social medias, where they can follow you at. Let the nation know where they can find you.
I don't have any.
Smart.
You guys can just check me up on YouTube. Just look up Raider Ben. I'm the host of the Just Win Baby podcast. You guys can find that on all your favorite podcasting platforms: Apple, Google, Spotify, wherever you get them from. Then if you guys are interested to follow me on Twitter, I don't really tweet too much. It's more of just, kind of promoting the show and stuff like that. But it's at Just Win Host. And then Rodney, nice to meet you, brother. I subscribe to your channel. I look forward to, interacting with you, probably doing some Madden. And you're always welcome if you want to come through and talk football on a Friday night, bro. I've told Spotlight the same thing. Like, we always allow people on once we pretty much cover what we need to cover. Everybody's pretty much allowed on. So I appreciate you for having me on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks, Darren.
No problem. So make sure y'all subscribe to both of their channels. And of course, the Spotlight Raiders Talk, make sure you subscribe to me. If this is your first time being at any of these guys' YouTube pages, we definitely suggest y'all subscribe. Hit the bell button for all your Raiders news, Madden, live streams, podcasts like this. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for for everything, man. It's been fun. I'm still on a hangover from Canton, Ohio. The Raider Nation was definitely in the building. Win, lose, or draw, they were drunk as hell too. So I was one of them, to be exact. I was one of them, knowing that I had to take a flight back from Cleveland to Philly, which that flight was just terrible. Delta, you owe me some money. But another story, another time. But thank y'all so much, man. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe. We are out of here. Peace, love, and blessings. See y'all next Tuesday. Hopefully, I'll have these fellas back on next Tuesday for, episode 6 and talk more Raiders talk as well. Peace, love, and blessings. And have fun watching preseason. I think we play this weekend as well.
Sunday,
we play the Minnesota
4:25.
Vikings this weekend, right?
Yeah,
4:25.
Yep.
4:25
So
Eastern.
I'll be live for that preseason game right here on the Spotlight Raiders Talk. So, Rodney, if you do want to come up and chill with me and watch the game, I'm all fine with it. Same with you, Ben.
All right. Yeah, appreciate it. All right, guys.
All right, man. See y'all later. Peace, love, and blessings. We out of here. Peace.
Try to drain my energy, the enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease, but I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless. Spread just like a virus.